طيب All right, there you go. There you go. They just muted me. All right, so now we're gonna watch what they do here. So like, O Steel doesn't like me because I'm Christian. He's come out like many times before gunning at me. I'm like, oh hey, look, I got this new particle effect maker. And he's like, don't post that here, don't post that here, don't post that here. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to like talk about it. I posted like 2 or 3 times, and he's like, just on my case. And now they're trying, like, look at this. This guy's saying some stuff. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Unity Talk, but I'm gonna go over here. I won't see if I can chat in here. Oh, I don't have permission to even talk anything now. All right, there you go. No, I'm not a bot. All right, so there you go. This guy's all right, this is actually annoying. Okay, so how are we gonna say this? It still has posted. Why defend hate? It's not cool. So like it's what? Let's steal your friend. All right, so here I got here. See, like this guy understands. He saw them slander me. See here. I don't know, man. All right. Yep. Thanks, man. You can post for me. Here to start problems. He just and you see it. There you go. So once we're getting to the bottom of this thing. It sucks, dude. Like I don't know why people just like hate on this stuff. All right, so there you go. I'm not spamming you. So like this thing is like I wasn't. Oh, okay. I was not spamming off topic, dude. I don't know. This guy's. Like, so, why? Okay, he's gonna call me a mess. Okay, Uthiel. Not a mess, man. Just wondering why. Why? I'm not gonna do that to the guy. It takes you off, man. They're gonna say you're a mess, but at the same time they just like slander me, right? Guys call me a clown and stuff. I don't know. There's just hate going on here. Check it out, right there. Hate. You need to drop that. What they're trying to do is they're trying to like when they bring up discrimination, they do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm telling them. I'm just gonna straight talk to the. I'm gonna post this at the CEO, right? Like their crew is okay. Let's watch what their crew is doing again. I'm gonna start it up. Okay. I'm coming here talking about bugs. Okay. We'll just start from the beginning and go to the end. Important. They go through. We're talking about how the bug reporter's bugged. And this heats you up. I mean, heats you up. People like start like all gang piling you. Oh, he's bad. He's bad. A bad person. It's because it's brand awareness, people. Like every company has it. Rides told you're a bad player if you discover the rigged matchmaking, the EOM. What is it called? Like matchmaking. So here you go. So like there's a thing in Riot Entertainment. I'm gonna talk about like brand awareness and why they do the mob mentality of like calling someone bad. Okay. So they have engagement optimized matchmaking. Basically, all it is instead of skill-based matchmaking, it matches people to rigged wins and losses. It comes from Electronic Arts. Riot Entertainment has it. I got proof of it. They have a patent on it, right? You can look up this patent. PCT. This is Riot Entertainment, okay? And it says based on skill or experience. It's a behavior. So like Riot has this thing where they instead of just having like a normal ladder where everybody goes in skill, they have to put behavior into it, right? And it just throws you into loser's shoe right off the bat. Because what happens is you start talking about like flagged words like, "Hey, Jesus loves you, man. Everybody should love each other." And then like you said, mentioned the word Jesus, and other people use the word Jesus as a curse, right? That's why I said don't use the Lord's name in vain, because eventually people are like, oh, you said Jesus Christ is a curse. Jesus is a Christ. It goes in cursed lists. It goes in the filters, It goes in the filtered lists. Like as it's a bad word, and then like you say a bad word enough times, it just says you're a bad person. You get matched with other bad players, and boom. You lose. And then so Riot Entertainment is told to tells its employees that doesn't exist and you're just a bad player. But it's not. I charted like 7,000 games. 80% of them, there was just terrible players on my team. Like they're just losing on purpose, right? So there's brand awareness in Riot. There's brand awareness in Disney. Disney will say the Star Wars films are not bad. It's just the fans are bad. You on Facebook, and there's the brand awareness people are saying the fans are bad. You go on Microsoft, the forums on Reddit here, you go or Microsoft, and you say, hey, I have problems with viruses. They'll be like, viruses don't exist. And there'll be a bunch of these people saying, like, Microsoft can't get a virus. It's just disinformation, like, by the actual brand, the corporate brand, right? So they think it's beneficial to, like, dogpile on someone, whenever an issue comes up. Like I said, I accuse them of like, you just don't like me because I'm a Christian, and that's the case. If you look up his political views on Twitter, he has a very anti-Christian political views. Sure, check it out. Let's go to Steele on Twitter. This guy has been jumping on my case all the time. So check it out. Steele. Let's see. I think I have to look for Steele on Twitter. Is this the guy? No, this is not the guy. No. Anyway, like I looked him up one time. He, like just like politically, like your stereotypical politics against Christians. He's that of that persuasion. But like I'm on Discord looking for help, and he always just jumps down my throat. Like, don't post that, don't post this, don't post that, don't post this. And I mean, at a certain point, you're like, I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm just posting like everybody else is doing. He's always, you're warned, and it's like, dude, I just posted like one thing. I ended up giving my like random particular for free. Here, look at this. I ended up having to give this random particular for free because the Unique Asset Store wouldn't accept it. Here, check it out. It's actually really cool. It's a way of generating particle effects by just hitting play. Then you can save them for later. Here, I'll fast forward to some meat. Oh, I can't look at it right there. I have to go onto YouTube. There's So one fast more forward to me.
Before I go on, just so you know how to use this thing.
So you see all particles up there? It generates one per second or something. When you hit play, a couple per second, and you just go around and you grab the ones you want.
One trick. When you're in the game mode,
And then you can use them in any game you want. It's actually really amazing. See, like there's a couple paid assets on the Unity store for like lasers that are like the same as this, except you generate tons and tons of these. You know, this asset. If it generates paid assets, every other asset, you know, then this is money. You know, and it should have been allowed to be on the asset store. Look how many hours of like just showing you guys what it was like. You know, there's like a 2-hour one there, a couple of different ones here. So like it's just a really awesome tool. I spent a couple hundred hours on it, you know, and I'm like, you know what? I tried to post on the Unity Asset Store, and they were giving me the same harassment Ostil was giving. I wonder if Ostil has anything to do with those guys. They're like, I posted the first time, and they're like, that's too simple. I'm like, wait, how's that too simple, right? Like how's that too simple? Like it's a really complicated thing. You hit play, and then you drag and drop the assets you want. It's pretty complicated. It has like 40,000 assets that have what's it, software license from Open Game Art and such, and it's really awesome. It's just an awesome thing. So they said it was too simple, and I explained it, and they got back to me. It was too complex. I mean, like, how is it too simple one time, too complex next time? I didn't change anything. Just feel like I've been screwed around with, like, on, like, submitting it. So, we'll just scroll back through this conversation. So we're just talking about the bug tool, reporting tool, we messed up. After, like, a couple of things of, so there was a checkbox, which is nice. I was able to figure out there was a checkbox. Oh, that's right. Like I just explained it. I had to explain that the existence of brand awareness representatives. Every corporation has them. They're there to promote brand awareness. They're there to promote brand awareness, right? And they'll do anything they can to make silence people who like speak out against the brand, right? And these guys are doing it hardcore, but they made the mistake of also being like hateful. Ostil just jumps down my throat all the time, right? So let's look where he jumps down my throat here. You know, I'm trying to explain that I actually have networking code that Unity would want to buy from me. And then this null says, you know, you sound like you could show engineers a better way. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can definitely show engineers up in many regards. I've helped eBay and UI. And I was saying they have a lot of strengths on me. Like I said, okay, let's start where this all started out, right? This guy was joking. This guy was actually joking. I was serious. Actually, you know what's even worse is I was just helping this guy. Like I wasn't actually, I wasn't slandering the hierarchy at all. Like let's reel back to where it starts, okay? So Null says just buy a better PC, right? And I'm like, no, I'm going to help this guy out. Null says get a better PC. This guy, I hope he doesn't work for Unity because that's just terrible advice, you know. I'm actually helping this guy, this aberrant curse guy. He's like, my guy runs like editor, help fix that, and I was explaining, just delete the scene window and hierarchy because that's what I do, you know. You get better performance, you know. And it said like low key hierarchy has a problem over here. Like if it's run in debug mode, oh no, it's actually supposed to be inspector. I forgot to tell this guy, aberrant. Where's aberrant? What to say? Inspector. So what happened was this was a total miscommunication. So okay, let's go through the miscommunication like one step at a time. So no, so Null said, where's it? Where is it? I'm trying to find out where that was at. So I'm trying to figure out where this confusion was. I was trying to help Abyssal over here. This aberrant curse guy. I was trying to help this aberrant curse guy, right? So my game runs bad in editor, but fine in the build. Is there a way to fix that? And I was trying to explain to him that you just like close the inspector in the scene, and it helps you out, right? You close the inspector in the scene, it helps out. This Null guy's being a smartass. Get a better PC. And I didn't realize he was just being a smartass, you know. So like, when he said like, so I'm like, so you delete the scene window and hierarchy. And when I said hierarchy, I meant the inspector. I was just miscommunicating. So you delete the scene window and the inspector, and it cleans it up a lot, right? We get better performance, right? And then I meant to say once again, the inspector has a problem. Debug mode is problem and things. And this guy's also saying debug mode's a problem as well. So it's like I know what I'm talking about. Like I know that when you have debug mode over here on checked, sometimes it slows stuff down, right? So I'm not just saying random stuff. I'm actually very knowledgeable in my field, right? And I'm very proud that I'm knowledgeable in Unity, right? So I scroll down. It says, don't check the gizmos, you know, up there, these things. You don't want to check any of these gizmos if you want optimal performance. This guy sounds like he could show Unity is a better way. I'm like, yeah, definitely, man. There's all sorts of things that can help out Unity engineers. But I didn't know he was talking about the inspector and the scene. He's just being a smart ass like he was up here. Like he said, get a better PC, right? And I thought he was actually being serious. I'm like, yeah, I definitely could. I mean, like I've coded my entire life, man. I mean, of course, it's like I was trying to explain. Yeah, I thought he was like wanting me to help him with a job. I'm like, hey, you know, I could do better than that. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely do better than lots of software engineers, and they can do lots of better than me on lots of stuff, right? Like I was talking about eBay. I just helped with the channels. I sent like maybe 50 plus emails as they did their UI redesign. They loved me. They were proud of the work I did for them. I didn't get paid, but you know, I just like to help UI when I can, you know, because I mean I end up using that. Other people have to use it. Like I'll help humanity if I make no money at all, right? That's the point of Christianity. You want to just help people. Money's just secondary. Right? Who cares? Who cares about money? We help people, and if money comes, it comes. If it doesn't, doesn't. Your goal is to help humanity and make the campsite a better place for the next generation and stuff. You know, make it better on Earth than it was when you got there, right? So I just help everybody, you know. And like I sent over 50 emails, and he was just stoked with me. But it turns out some of the things they didn't want to change that he would agree with me were being shot called by like the Yale and Harvard guys. They're like, no, we got to do this. Because if the Yale and Harvard guys don't take their shot calls, you know, the CEO guys don't take their shot calls, then they don't think they deserve any money. You know, I'm just sitting here like watching these software engineers do everything. Why do I deserve like millions of dollars of pay a year if I don't do anything? A lot of times that would be better to get out of the software engineer's ways, you know. You're just there to like manage a couple different things. They always have to be, put that button there, put that there. And it's like, no, man, that's not where it goes. And I kind of uncovered that a little bit on eBay's side. Google's way worse, dude. Here, look at the Google ads. I'll show you the Google ads. I'm going to show you the most atrocious thing ever. See if I can sign in here without like I'm going to go to like scene. You won't see. So I'm trying to sign in. Okay, so I'm gonna do like a new. I'm gonna do like a new thing here. I can't. That's the worst part. Okay, so I want to do new campaign, right? I'm gonna do new campaign. How do I do new campaign? I don't even know how where do I click to even do a new campaign, right? All campaigns. New workspace. Workspace filters. That's not a new campaign, right? No, it's terrible. This is like the worst user interface. This is as bad as StarCraft 2 Galaxy Editor, right? Like, I just want to select a campaign. Can I start a new campaign? No, you don't. Like, this is just the beginning of a road of a rabbit hole that goes to a place you would never expect it to go, right? So, just so we go with it. I want you to know that like all they really need to do for Google Ads is have like new campaign, you enter a website, how much you want to pay, credit card information, done, right? But like they have it, so you have to fill out 17 different things. I don't know what any of this stuff means. I've used it too, and it's like, you know, this is like one of the most nightmarish user interface experiences I've ever had. Google Ads. They're losing tens of millions of dollars a year because some shot caller up there is like wants to run this show. And what's fun? The funny part is, these are Harvard Yale people. The funny part is they did a redesign. I talked. There's a guy. Their design, the UI is so bad on the Google Ads. You saw how terrible it is. I couldn't even figure out how to do a new campaign. I was going to do a new campaign just to walk you through how terrible it is. I couldn't even find where a new campaign's at. Right? You know what I'm talking about? That's how bad that is. So I went to talk to like their user interface is so bad they have employees that walk you through it. They'll call up and go, hey, did you figure it out? You figured it out? Okay, you click this button, you click that button. They actually have to hire people to use a website so you can put your web address to advertise it on a Google Ads. That's how bad it is. Okay. So anyway, one of these guys contacted me and said, hey, you get everything under control? I'm like, dude, hold on. Like, dude, do you understand how bad this user interface is to Google that the people like you have to like even talk with me? He's like, yeah, I know, it's really bad. I'm like, I can give you a redesign. I give him like I don't know, pie chart or like something. I'm just making up a pie chart. I gave him an open office document of explaining all the reasons why it's bad. He gave it to his higher ups, right? And that was the week they was like, hey, we're going to do a redesign. We've established that this is bad design. We're going to redesign. They made it worse. They didn't want to talk to me anymore. They just made their interface worse, and that's Google Ads. They'd rather lose tens of millions of dollars a year than some random CEO Yale Harvard shot call guy not to lose their job. Okay. Anyway, that's the preface of what I just said here. So like I said, like 100%, I could show up some Unity engineers. I'm not lying, dude. If you code your entire life, you have 150,000 hours in code, design and gaming. You're going to show people up on a couple of different avenues, right? There's no one perfect in their art, I can definitely show them the way in a couple of different ways, So that's not a lot. And then I will say they have a lot of strengths on me. I'm not saying I wasn't saying they're guys. I'm not saying they're just chumps. I'm just saying I could show them up in many regards, right? And then like happens, I just help them with they're deficient. Everybody knows so. Even the best effort don't know all. So like I was trying to explain that like. The Unity engineers are like really good, but they don't know everything. They never know some stuff. I was saying, it doesn't matter how much you know. You don't know everything. You don't have a perfect knowledge of knowledge. So then this guy's trying to say I'm trolling delusional. Either way, he's insulting me right there. And then there's just some nobody he was insulting the thing. He didn't want to help this guy. He gave this guy a flippant insult, and then. I thought he was actually being serious. I thought, like at this point, I was like, and yeah, definitely, I would like to work with Unity. But what happens? You see what he's saying is he's picking it where I was actually helping this guy. The guy he was basically just insulting by get a better PC. I was actually trying to help him. I was trying to help this guy up here, this aberrant curse guy, and he actually thanked me later. So like he was appreciative. He's talking with me afterwards. He was happy. So. Yeah, like I was trying to explain it. I was applying for a job. I thought it was, can you do better? I'm like, yeah, I can do better. Like, just hire me for a job. Like, that's what I thought we were doing here. I was talking about a job. And then I saw this, and I'm like, wait, what? Wait. I'm trying to explain. I think he was just lying here. I think this guy was just lying. Maybe I gave him the benefit of the doubt to use punch cards. I know people that use punch cards. Okay. Then look at this. We don't need to compare life histories, right? This is Austin. This is the guy who hates me. There's no question. This guy hates me. He's jumped down my throat on many different occasions. Let's see. I wonder if we have like a message history here. I don't want to dig it up. Let's see on the side here. I don't want to dig it up, but he said some pretty nasty things to me, like without using trigger words. He just jumps down my throat every time I talk. He wants to like shut me up. That's his goal. He wants to shut up me. He's like, Jim, you're talking, let's shut you up. I was helping that one guy, and then I was pining for a job, right? And now he's like, just shut up. This null guy is just some random troll, but this Austil guy, actually works for Unity. This Austil guy actually works for Unity, and I don't know what his problem is. So I'm like, oh, I was saying that's pretty good. I was trying to apply for a job. I know a lot of things could help you. For instance, I'm sitting on one of the best net codes. So I do actually have the best net code on earth, as far as I know. It's like infinite players, half the latency. The standard security that runs with these things is working. The pendulums in the side of the counter hackers. There's lots of games running the standard security I am on this type of networking. I just bring it to a more nodular type of connection where like you optimize how much packet you send based on where you are, and then the things you control around you, the satellites, you know, it gets optimized who gets the satellite and stuff, you know. And it's just like encryption, and it's nothing fancy. I mean, there's any game you can pretty much hack, pretty much, to some degree. But I have it very mitigated on what you can hack in mine. I'm not, by no means am I saying my stuff has super sophisticated counter hacking you've never seen before in your life. No, it's just your standard counter hacking. I'm not the one that made counter hacking swinging the pendulum towards counter hacking. It's just how it went. It's just kind of how the things went. There's a couple games out there, and what they do is they got their counter hacking that works to some degree, but like what we really do look at is they have like live game masters and video evidence of the stuff. So I'm serious. I'm sitting on like some of the best netcode. Right? It's been around since 2003, 2004. And I did co-invent rollback code. I tried to market it to Midway. He shut me up before I could say that. This Osto guy didn't want me talking. So I'll go and explain what they shut me up for saying. I talked to Midway in 2004. I'm like, dude, I got this MMO, this in-house MMO. I don't think it's going to be good for a wide audience because it has router-specific code, and I don't want to code for every specific router. Yeah, it actually had to like check the routers and stuff for hairpinning and all that weird stuff. Just a bunch of nonsense. So me and my friends, we'd get like a couple people playing, 3-4 people playing at once. And it was scaled up to a really huge amount. Before I didn't really do the optimal like send in packets less often when they're far away type of thing. But I had it so it was it could have played up to 10 players, and we were doing all these cool kung fu moves and spin kicks and stuff. It's probably somewhere there on the thing. Hey, I have to hit the restroom real fast. I'll be back in a moment. Anyway, so I'm just saying that I know what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, like a lifetime of video gaming. You can tell that I got going there. I'm establishing credibility right now. It's really easy to do. I got proof of all this stuff. I made a bunch of video games too. But basically, when I talk to Midway, I have this rollback code. It's part of the subset of this advanced networking code I have. I'm like, Midway, check it out. Midway, check it out. Midway. I'm like, hey, give me the job. I don't care if it's junior program, senior program, or whatever. I got this whole new way of doing networking, and you can just jump me in anywhere, and like that'll never work. People hack. I'm like, yeah, of course people hack. It's like we have to do lockstep. And I mean, there you go. I know a key word of what they say. They say lockstep. Midway's thing was lockstep, and there was like something like the packets there and there. I'm like, no. What you can do is you can like when you attack and you're holding forward, have the guy like walk forward a little bit. You got about 50 milliseconds of buffer, and then from there, when you get the next packet, it'll be closer to where he was at, so it doesn't jitter as much. He's like, that'll never work. And they can hack it. They can say they're there. I'm like, no. He's like, you're a noob. You don't know what you're talking about. You're such a noob. And he's like, it sounded like I was playing against someone I was actually playing Mortal Kombat with. And he's like, you're a noob. You won't beat my martial arts. I was like, shut up, dude. And then he's a manager calling like an actual applicant like a noob, right? And now what happens is rollback is all over the place. Tekken uses rollback, Street Fighter uses rollback. The fighters forums for a long time were like, yeah, I got rollback. This guy got rollback. Now rollback is a mandatory necessity for fighters, and it's a subcomponent of this netcode that I have. And like I said, that's not the exciting part. Like I said, that rollback is just something that everybody figured out. Like I co-discovered it. Like some other guy, I think, did it in 2002. I did it in 2004. I knew nothing about him doing rollback, right? So that gives you a clue what this networking code has. Okay, the packet is like half the latency of a normal packet, and everybody has a representation of the world on their own computer, and it all like syncs itself together. So your world might be just a teeny bit different than someone else's world in my networking, but it updates itself for the next next packet sent to you. So it's like an amalgamation. You don't have a server with a central core location. Everybody has amalgamations that is basically exactly the same thing as what they're saying. I mean, you think about like relativity. If someone's traveling really fast, do they see the same things you're saying? In reality, we don't even see that, right? And so this game approximates like reality to some degree. Like, I mean, to like almost a perfect degree. You won't notice it. You never see what they see. And what happens is, if you do see what they see, do you see what I see? If you would see what they see, there wouldn't be much difference, right? So you have active objects that have to be sending out like a location change, like they have a decision, right? Then you have like lasers, or like, let's say plasma bolt. They go firing across the screen. Once they fire, it's not going to change direction unless acted on. And then what you do is you send a network packet when it's acted on. So you send a network packet when that thing's acted on, but it only has to send one network packet to fire a bullet or a rocket. Obviously, homing, you probably want to send a couple update packets. They don't have to be as often, right? And then that's the key, is to not send those packets as often, right? Things are really far away. Let's say I'm on Earth and they're on Mars, and we're playing a starfighter game, and you're shooting like plasma bolts that go like maybe like half a mile. There's millions of miles between Earth and Jupiter, so you don't even have to do action packet updates. You don't have to update every 30 milliseconds for that guy. You don't have to update for every 25 milliseconds for that guy. No, every 50 milliseconds is not bad either. You don't have to update every 40 milliseconds. You can update maybe in 5 minutes. What you actually just do is divide the distance between you, and you find about like a central location. Boom. Then it's probably be like 10 minutes. The closest you can catch each other. You just fly each other directly, and that's an exaggeration. No one's going to play a boring game where you fly from Earth to Jupiter slow. You know what I'm saying? But the network packet, it's a beautiful thing. What I have here is it's a beautiful networking thing, a bunch of nodes and everything, and updating things less often. And when things get really close to you, it gets you update to like 50 milliseconds, maybe up to 80. And what happens is ends up being infinite players in the same zone. And the math is actually beautiful, because it's like you only when you're a cardinal in one area and you have these like 8 different areas around you, that things can fit like around here, like more or less. There's only a couple things that can fit right next to you, right? And then and you look at how much bandwidth it takes, X, Y, Z, rotation and position, all that stuff, and or velocity. Yeah, you need the position because you need to know where you're at. I haven't done it. I haven't touched it in a while. You need the velocity, know how fast you're going. And since we're sending a rollback, you want to know if your fingers are on the thruster, where you're aiming, angular momentum. So you have this string. I don't know. It's probably about 70 bytes long, right? There may be a way to shrink this string. There's a lot, with obviously you're going to do like Huffman encoding and stuff, but just for right now, let's say it's 70 bytes, And so you have 70 bytes times 8. That's 560 bytes, just say 500, half a K, and then you update every say 25 seconds. Let's just say 33 to make math easy. So that's 1K per update, 33 milliseconds. That's 3K per second. Anyway, I did the math. What happens is if you try and update like 1,000 people, like all the fast time, it crushes your outward bandwidth, right? But if you update just the perfect amount, it ends up fanning out, and it's like you basically get infinite. That's the closest thing you have to say, and that's under modern technology. That's under modern bandwidth. Actually, you know what? This was under like 2004 bandwidth, dude. And like the hardware stuff, like between Comcast and freaking like Verizon since 2004, man. And things are just better. Everything's better, like in terms of like bandwidth. So yeah, it's just gonna be infinite players in an action zone. There's obviously an issue where everybody just wants to crowd around each other, and that has to be mitigated a little bit. You can do stuff like Astronaut's Call did with a portal storm. Doesn't happen very often. But anyway, long story short, hope you understand I am sitting on the most advanced networking on Earth that I know of. Infinite players, half the latency, some standard security, nothing special, no security, nothing special is needed. Because you can always look on the video chat and look at game masters. You keep hacking the down low. You know, there's a couple of different tricky things you can do. If you have, what I'll tell you one secret tricky thing. Because when it comes to counter hacking, you don't want to share too many things. You don't ever want to like let them know when you go to hack report. There's some things they can do. Tripwire, you know, change they use hexadecimal editor or something. My code can test to see if they change the hexadecimal editor and stuff like that. And this is not a brag. Everybody else does hexadecimal. You know, they put a honeypot out. Oh, my health. Oh, and then you change the health. It's not actually the health. Health is stored somewhere else, some sort of other variable. And you change the health on a setter or getter. It always checks against the actual real pool value. And then what happens is the hexadecimal editor thinks they're changing like health from 99 to 9999. But actually, what they're doing is they're changing the honeypot. 999. The honeypot's different than the actual value. You pair it during a setter and getter, and then that sends back to the server for detection. I mean, there's all sorts of little tripwires and stuff like that. And the thing is, like, you never ever want to just ban someone immediately on that because you can have like a cosmic bit flip, right? But you know, a big server log of nice big fat 999s. You know, it's like, okay, dude. Like if it was a cosmic bit, it might have happened once. It's been a bunch of random numbers, but you're trying to set all your stats to 9999. Okay, that's a hacker. Right? So I don't want to give away all my stuff, but like these are just everybody knows about these things, you know. But like long story short, it works. It's a system that works. Everybody's did tried and true. You get the game masters on, the review of the data and the hack reports. You get. Just try, it's tricky because you don't want to give too much information away. You never want to like be like, oh, this is like it's a really good networking thing. It's a really good networking code. But you never want to brag on security, man. Like if you brag on security, you bring the downfall of your existence. You know, you get Russian hackers from like freaking Brazil. It turns into like a big hacking competition to hack your game. You never want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I mean, like, look at me. Like, don't hack me, dude. Please. I'm asking nicely that people don't hack me because, like, I've had a lifetime of being ripped off. You know, I graduated Carnegie Mellon. I've been a tryhard my entire life. You know, I thought that I basically got a perfect SATs. I could have got a perfect SAT I wanted to. I didn't want to. I just, you know, I missed one or two. Who cares? It's good enough. That's close enough. Perfect. Like, why don't you get a perfect SAT? Like, I don't care, dude. I'm going to. I think Penn State gave me like a free scholarship. Carnegie Mellon let me in. I'm like, whatever. The perfect SAT is not going to do anything. I think it might have. I probably got more free scholarship in this, but more scholarship opportunities if I got another perfect SAT. Like missing one or two questions in SAT is no problem. The IQ examiners, they're like, oh my god, dude, like, I scared them. I invented division on the fly. That was actually funny. They ripped the book off me. They got scared. IQ examiners got scared. I saw that same scare when I was in the highest level physics class that I really went to. It's not really the highest. But it's called rocket science, basically. And you just do, like, integrals of rockets. Boom, bang. And, like, I knew I can just do curves. I know how curves work, like, because I do the math so often that I could just do integrals in my head. And so my friends are like, they're panicking. They took a couple of days. There's this panic building over like 3 days, and they're like, Jim, we're never going to get these questions done. Do you understand the pace we're going at? It takes us 5 hours per question, and we don't always get them right. And we go over this paper. We're going over like 3 or 4 pieces of like notepad paper, like even sometimes 5 or 6, and we have to turn these in like 80 hours, you know, of what we can be awake. When it's going to cost us 100 hours. We're never going to get this done. We're never going to get this done. We're never going to get this done. And like, Jim, why aren't you doing your stuff? I'm like, I don't know. I'll do it when I want to. Jim, you're being irresponsible. Jim, you're being irresponsible. It's like, why don't you sit down and do it? I'm like, all right. So I sat down. I came to they're all like in the room and they're sitting down. And I look at the question. And I'm like, I wrote down the answer. I look at the next question for about a minute. The answer. After 20 minutes, I got all 20 right. Where's your work? I did it in my head, dude. I'm sorry. I can't sit down and write down everything I do in my head. And like, you got all of them right, and it took you 1 minute per hour. They're taking us 5 hours for not getting it right. I'm like, yeah. And they looked at me the same fear that IQ examiners did when I invented division on the fly. Like, some people say I'm the smartest dude on the planet. Like, I mean, which it could be possible because, you know, I've been number one in basically every video game I've played. I'm going to tell you a secret about video games. Okay? I'm the original pro gamer. I've been like, look at this. Let's see if I keep my camera right. I trained to go pro before anybody else. Let's make sure. Let's get this camera big. Let's just get this whole thing into video only or cam only. There we go. So I like this thing here. I'm gonna tell you a story. A story about my life. A story about my life. Okay. All right. So at age 3, I was hoisted up to Pac-Man in the arcade. My dad held me up. Felt like a really epic moment. Here, let's get the vision a little better. I'm living like a dump right now because I don't even have water in this place. That's what happens when big tech's always discriminating against Christians. You don't get a job out of college. My personality I have now, it's a little extreme. People are like, oh, it's because you're extreme personality. I didn't have this personality before. I acquired this personality because no one gave me a chance. Okay, so let's change my zero capture device without giving away too much of my squalor I'm living in. I had no water like last. What does it say? That's not bad. So last month I have 2 bank accounts. I had 1 penny in each of them. 1 penny in each bank account. And then the worst part was, here, I'll tell you the worst part. I ran out of water, right? When you don't have water, I don't have running water in this place. When you don't have running water, I'm gonna actually get a cool shirt on. We're gonna do this. Let's do it right. When you don't have running water, you have to actually go out and acquire water, right? That's what you do. You don't have water, you go out and get some jugs of water, and then you get water, right? But then I went out to my car wouldn't start, and then I ran out of food as well. So I had to end up getting my mom to bail me out. And there's 2 days. I actually couldn't dev Starfighter General for 2 days, and it was solely because I didn't have water or food. Okay, and I graduated Carnegie Mellon. I'm a computer science guy, physics guy. I use physics in Starfighter General to aim your laser. Aim is where you're aiming it, where they're going to be, not where you're at. It's based on 90s Starfighter, 90s X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. 90s X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, aim where you went, not where you're at. Because that way, if you fly in a straight line, you get hit. So it makes you want to juke and jab a little bit, And that was a good game. That's why people like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, right? Anyway, I use my physics and computer science. I use my computer science. I've been coding nonstop. I could have been a professional programmer at age 15. I tried to write the world's first MMO in 1992. In Quick Basic. Quick Basic only has 640K of memory, which is not bad. 640K of memory is not bad. But for an MMO with all the data and stuff, that's not enough, right? So I wrote a language. Internal. This is me at 15 years old, 1992. Internal scripting language in order to load off the disk. And when I load off the disk, I would load from precise points, like the binary point. I would everybody loads their text documents now. Boom, they're all bloatware coders now. They'll load off a text document, load the whole thing, and to get to the 500th text element, they'll load up 499 things before it. And I do that now too, okay? But that's inefficient. You can load things up by the binary location of it. So in my scripting file, I'd have the binary location the next thing. It'd be up and down the binary file instant. So the hard drive is almost as fast as memory, believe it or not, when you go right to it, right? And I'm exaggerating. And my MMO was more like Final Fantasy 1 in terms of your characters. Ultima, one of the early Ultimas. Ironically, Ultima was what canned my project because Ultima Online came out. I'm like, oh, it's not 1998. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't want to make my game anymore. Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I spent a lot of time on that. Quick Basic. It actually ran. It was like a single player type of thing was running with scriptable and everything. And then I was trying to find networking. No one knew. And they said, oh, you have to do C++. So I rewrote the whole thing in C++. And then, like I said, Ultima Online came out. I don't know. I don't even know where this is coming from or where it's going, but I'm basically just saying, I'm pretty much competent. I think we were on a thing where I nonstop code. I'm either gaming, but if the games aren't good enough for me, I'm coding games. That's my life. Been doing it since I was 3 years old, and I'm very good at what I do. Like I said, when I was 15 years old, I could have easily went to California and been a big shot right there. But mom's like, you gotta go to college. You have to go to college. You gotta go to college. I'm like, I don't want to go to college. I'm like, I can get a job right now. Why would I want to go to college if I can get a $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year job right now, mom? Why? You gotta go to college. Everybody says you have to go to college. You go to college. I'm like, okay, mom, we'll go to college. You know, and it was great. I met some cool friends there. I probably wouldn't have played StarCraft if I didn't go to college, but I graduated. You know, there's no jobs, right? And during college, '98, one of the nice things about Ultima Online, I went and played StarCraft, right? I'll show you that, right? I'll show you the StarCraft. I was #1 in the world, all the races. The guy's #2 in the world. #2 in the world guy went to what is it? South, not North Korea. That's never been my luck, dude. Okay, I'm gonna go to Korea, and I'm gonna go pro game, right? And it'll be like, Jim, you went to North Korea. Oh, when am I gonna leave? You don't leave North Korea. I'm screwing right now, but the guy, number 2 guy, XDX Garrett, like I told him, I said, dude, you're #2 in the world. He's like, no one ever beats me. I'm like, yeah, that's what #2 people in the world say. So he just declared that I was like the best player in the world. I was in one tournament in StarCraft in my prime, and the other guy scouted all my strategies. I had spies on my channel, which is basically just Inflategate, like the Patriot Gate stuff that's like against the rules. But it was when pro games first come out. I probably should have just went on the down low, but I like to practice. I don't like to stop practicing. I've had awards, so I'm not just #1 in the world at skill. I've had the first 1,500 wins in Warcraft 3. I just play more than people in the modern era. Like, check it out. I play more video games in the modern era than modern era people. These people make money playing video games. These video games are more fun. They have all the teams and squads. There's popularity, fame. I still play more than them, and that even goes for like right now. Look, check it out. As recently as this year, I was #1 in the North America, and there's one champion on League of Legends. I just play more video games than anyone's ever lived. So if I'm playing more games now, imagine what I was doing in Atari 2600 when everybody else wasn't playing it because it was boring. Played it since 1980 to about 1987. Yeah, my mom didn't give me a Nintendo in '85 for whatever reason. She had to wait to '87. I love my mom. Look, it sounds like I just trashed my mom twice because she made me go to Carnegie Mellon and play Nintendo. So I'm gonna do a little service. I'm gonna do a side service. Say how much I love my mom. So growing up, my mom was always nice to me. She's always nice to me. Perfect mom. Never did me any wrong at all. She always encouraged me. One of the reasons I'm a big lifelong tryhard is because she's like, you got to do something really hard. And I'm like, I'm going to do gaming. And she's like, I'll buy you video games. And I'm supporting you in your video game and your coding and your computers. And, and she's why I'm here, man. Like, she, in Scouts, she was like a Scout master, back when, or like a Cub Scout master or whatever. And she cared about me. My dad was like a Scout master. Like, my parents really, 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 really care for me. They're really good people. I've like just the best parents. So don't think because I was saying this and that about mom is nothing. Like when I was 12 years old, my dad divorced my mom. And I said, my dad's dead to me for a while. And he's cool with me now. He's actually like the coolest person on the planet right now for me. But everybody goes through turmoil and stuff. But like my mom stuck through it. She got a job, She fights through stuff, She has friends. She's very giving. Even though she doesn't have a lot herself, she'll work and then get presents for people. She always wants the kids to be happy. They got presents. She wants to know Aunt Phyllis is good for her, and she is super, super nice. Okay, my mom is super, super nice. It just everybody got the brainwashing. After like 1960s. They sent the jobs from America to China, and they gave everybody like they give this blue smoke. Everybody go to college. Everybody goes to college, then we'll be the smart people, and the smart people will tell the laborers what to do, and China will be happy laboring, and you'll be happy here working your like middle manager job, and the jobs will be there. There'll be more white collar jobs, and then who knew that wasn't the case, right? What happened is those blue collar jobs that went away, those people still had to fight for jobs, and the white collar jobs, there wasn't more white collar jobs. If anything, they got rid of them in 2007. They always try and work 2 jobs at once, work harder. I don't want to work harder. This is lame. Well, okay, you fire, you quit. Oh, that's fine. We got lots of other people, and we'll hire people. And they kept pushing people how much they can work them in 2007, and eventually, like when they figured out they couldn't, everybody was dropping out. They're like, okay, well, let's not the band anymore. It's a game of push and go, and like having everybody go to college, what happens is instead of like having more jobs, it just has the people at the top have more selection of who they can choose. So let's go away from my skill, how I could have been top programmer, and when I was 15 years old. And we'll move on to like when I graduated. Okay, graduated. One of the smartest people on the planet. You know, we already had all these smart people going, Jim, you're scare us. You're too smart, right? I just been number one in the world in a bunch of video games. I played a bunch of video games. And before I go on to how I did not get a job and how I got scammed by big tech in the past, let me go on and talk about why I think I'm intelligent. Okay, I might not be that much different than most people. I just started playing Atari 2600 with dedication and try hard from a very young age. And when you play a video game, especially an action video game, your mind thinks of how to problem solve and react. Okay, and what happens is you're building logic circuits in your brain for rapid solutions to problems. General problems can be condensed into smaller subsection logic. You have these logic solvers, and you apply them. Boom, 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 boom. You're solving problems like nobody's business, right? The first thing I learned in gaming was you want to be in the middle, right in the middle. Like if you're on the side of the screen, let's say you're over here on the screen, and they drop a bunch of bombs over here. There's nowhere to dodge. Hold on. So you're on the side of the screen over like here, okay? And they're dropping bombs. This is freaking me out because like this guy's intelligent, but he can't use his hands. But you know what I'm saying? Like, here, let's go on the desktop. So like, not battle mode. Let's go. Okay. Let's go to like paint. Okay. So there's a lot of games that are like Space Invaders back then. So let's say you're like. You thought the defensive position would be here. You're the ship, you're shooting up here. There's guys dropping bombs here. And they have like a freaking wave of bombs. And it's going down to down to down to down. You're at the edge of the screen, you're dead. You know, they cornered you in the corner. All right, let's go up. Now let's go up here in the middle. You're here. And they got this wave of bombs coming here. And you're like, oh, I can go over here. And the formation breaks up. And then you slide back to the right, right? You always want to be just generally grabbing the middle position because it offers you more place to dodge. You're in the corner. You have actually one less place to dodge. This is something they play in League of Legends where, like, if you have a skill shot that shoots this whole screen, like Senna has a skill shot that shoots this whole screen. So if I know I can shoot down right this area and kill everything on this side over here, like, everything on this side is dead. I take it the maximum distance I can, so it kills everything on this side. And then this side's good. So most players at low elo don't understand about this little death realm. Otherwise, they'd be positioning themselves here. So like, but I shoot up in this area just for probabilistic means. I get a lot of takedowns that way. Okay. Anyway, so like there we go. We just took a logic puzzle I learned in Atari 2600 and we took it to a modern game, right? But these logic puzzles, these logic things you think about, aren't just applicable to gaming. And I'm going to tell you the strangest thing ever. The strangest lore ever, okay? This is strange, really strange lore. This is one of the craziest things you'll ever hear, okay? So, do you ever hear of, like, roguelikes? They're text adventure. Angband. It's like you move one screen, you move one square at a time. Here, look at this. Look at this game. You move one thing at a time. Everything moves once when you move. They take their turn, you move, take a turn. So, take a bunch of turns, they take a bunch of turns. It's called a roguelike. Based on 1980 game's Rogue. And anyway, one of the things you learn in roguelike is if you fight like in a corridor, let's say like this one. Here, let's actually look for a better screen. Okay, here we go. See, you see this corridor here? If you fight in this corridor, only one thing can attack you from this side. And obviously if there's a door behind you, nothing can get to you basically. So you're fighting one thing at a time. And when you fight one thing at a time, you're taking less hits. Let's say you're in the middle of the screen, right? There's 8 guys around you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 guys around you. They're hitting you 8 times as often, and there might be some fireballs come at you. You might be hitting 12 times. But in your corridor, you're gonna get hit once. Maybe a couple of fireballs come that way, and then come in the corner, and then here, get an extra hidey place. Then you fight one person at a time, right? And so there's this one time. So like, we're gonna take this. This will be the strangest piece of lore ever. I'm glad I was thinking about it. I was in what I later found was a mafia bar. During my punk days, and I got in trouble in a mafia bar, okay? And I was not even doing anything. I'm just chilling out, and the bouncer just comes up, hails up, and punches me in the back of the head. And my face goes against the dartboard. I'm like, whoa! And like I just reflexively turned and like, boom, punched him, right? And he went flying back. And like everybody looked at like he just hauled off of the bouncer, but the bouncer didn't even ask me to leave. He said, if the bouncer would be like, "Excuse me, would you like to leave?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll leave. Didn't mean to cause any problems." The boxer just hauled off and punched me in the back of the head without even telling me anything. Okay, that tells you what kind of bar this is. This is down in Oakland. The bar's closed now. It's across from Pitt. A little place in the corner next to Rite Aid used to be. All those little dive bars. I didn't know it was owned by the mafia, though. Thank God they get me. Anyway, I'm going to tell you how I got away. After I punched him, everybody came out, and I saw about 50 hands. I mean, that's exaggerating. There might have been 12 hands that are just coming down at me. It was like a hill of hands that's coming down on me, right? And I'm looking over, and the bathroom's here, and I jump in the bathroom door, and I'm like, when I'm in the bathroom door, it's just like Angband, right? Only one person can come at me at a time. And ain't nobody coming after the guy just hauled off and hit this big-ass bouncer and knocked him back, right? So I'm sitting in the bathroom like, okay, what can I use as a weapon here? Okay, toilet seat. I'm not going to rip off a toilet seat. That'd just make him mad at me. And it's like, whatever, I'll just stay here for a while and figure it out. So then one of the guys that were earlier cooler with me, he's like, hey, dude, I was cool with you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know why that guy hit me. He's like, I don't know. It was pretty lame and stuff. He's like, I'll walk you out. He's like, he walks out, and the boss is like, oh, I got to walk him out. I'm like, I looked at the bouncer like, are you gonna walk me out, or is there gonna be a bunch of stuff going on? 'Cause I didn't want to start trouble anyway. I didn't think I started trouble. This guy just hauled off and hit me in the back of the head. I don't know. No one even told me what I did wrong. It's like I just got punched in the back of the head. And he's like, yeah, we'll go out. So we walk out into the street and said some stuff like, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. Just go home. But anyway, like no one would think a roguelike. Basically, like a text adventure could save your bacon in a street fight, because it did. I'm not even joking, dude. I don't get in a lot of fights, man. Thank God, dude. But when I do get in fights, when I was younger, I didn't lose any of them, and that's because like I never took an offensive fight. You have the spirit on your side. If you're always fighting a defensive battle, not necessarily all the time you want to be on the defense, but like if someone attacks you first, and you didn't do anything to deserve it, the spirit of love is on your side. I fought some really big dudes. Right now, if someone attacked me, I'd just be basically dead. I have trouble waking up in the morning with my shoulders are doing it now, bursitis and stuff, and oh my God, I had an impacted back. I had kidney issues, diabetes. Come on, man. I'm old, dude. Please don't attack me. The guy's bragging about punching a buck, so let's beat him up. Like, come on, dudes. Like life is already beating me up. I'm old and broke. Like, there's much more life can do to beat you up than this. Like, I've had so many bad things happen to me in the past 1.7 years. This is my grand passed away. Got kicked out with my uncle. I don't know if we want to tell that story. We'll just say let's say give you 2 days of the last 1.5 years. It'll break your BS meter. Your little BS meter, I'll break it. They got their BS meter broken right off the bat. And that guy was just some random guy, just like was making fun of people. But O-Steel over here, O-Steel just has a problem with me. I was trying to get a job. I was trying to apply for a job at Unity, right? Bingo bango. Like, I definitely have the best network. As far as I know, I have the best net code. And that's one of the things that's exciting. I'm going to be pushing it out in the next 2 weeks. He says to send a job application. I put out 1,000 job applications before, never came back. It's a waste of time. Talked to 100 headhunters, never got a job. So then we're going to go back to I graduated Carnegie Mellon, right? This is good because the tangent I wanted to get to beforehand had to explain how I think I was smart because I built up all these little problem solving things along the way, and it just makes you smart to problem solve. Video games will make you smart. You can't sit your kid behind Pokemon and expect to get smart. I mean, it will help them a little bit. You can't sit your kid behind like these pay to win things expecting to get smart. Clash of Clans, not going to happen. You have to give them the action games, so the ones that have like feedback and like you get better. Play some Castlevania, play some Contra. Those things that make you have to think and strategize and help playing. Then you're good. I mean, it's, RTS and stuff is good too, and et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of those brain trainers, not so good. Anyway, I'm getting off tangent. I just wanted to explain that, like, I don't think maybe I'm that much smarter than anybody else. I don't think my brain born with it. I think it was because I like the video games. Thankfully, I'm still hyperactive. That's actually a blessing, not a curse. I get all the 20-somethings around love me, chickadoos and dudes. They're like, dude, you don't stop. You're hyper. Like, yeah, life's about being hype and making stuff and being creative and enjoying life. I try to help people out. I'm like a famous locally for being nice to everybody and dancing and stuff. But so anyway, we're gonna reel back. Stop talking about me. Let's talk about after I graduated. I put out 1,000 resumes. Very humble. Talked to like over 100 headhunters. Every time I put out a resume on a Dropbox, the early 2000s, half the time the website would be bugged, right? So you're like, I could have fixed your website if you'd only hired me, you know. And then that's what I was thinking. Like, so eventually, after you put 1,000 resumes out by hand, it takes about like 20 minutes out, 20 to 30 minutes to put one out. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore, you know. No, I got 4 interviews in 10 years. 4 interviews in 10 years. And I didn't think it was Christian discrimination at that point because I never thought of that. Like I didn't even like identify that much. I was like Christian. I mean, like 2003, I found out like love's the way, God's real, but I didn't think that would be that big a deal, right? But then I get on Twitter 2018 when Twitter got the right to algorithmic censor. The first thing I got censored online was I said God is love, Jesus loves you, everyone should love each other, and Twitter took that down on hate speech. I said. Obviously, it doesn't say everybody should love each other is under hate speech. So it's saying God is love, Jesus loves you is hate speech, right? And then I started getting lots of stuff taken down because I'm a Christian, right? Just because I'm a Christian. I have a lawsuit actually coming up for LinkedIn. I'm not a lawsuit, but I'm talking with lawyers in the 26. Same people who sued and won against Blizzard for discrimination. About 2 weeks before Blizzard got sued for discrimination that went public, I was on LinkedIn saying, Blizzard, like my buddy who went 200-0 in Warcraft 3, right? Kane the Fear was one of them, but Mike Telmar, Crazy Assassin, got see where's he? See here, this we're first of wins. We were also where is it down here? Where's my Warcraft 3 here? I have to have it somewhere. Yeah, 200-0. We went 200-0, man. Like just no one in the world could beat us. So he got interviewed. Right? Crazy Assassin got interviewed by Blizzard. This was 200-0, and Blizzard's like, okay, how much game design experience do you have? I've never designed a game. How much coding experience do you have? I've never coded. It was like, okay, we're gonna fly Crazy Jim out. And just before I got to fly out, they're like, we're canceling your airplane ticket. I'm like, why? Why would you look over me over someone with inferior skill? Oh, we just can't. But if you look at discrimination. It's passing over someone of superior skill without giving a reason. So Blizzard, I went to the CEO of Blizzard on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm like, hey, the CEO, I think it's called I forget J.J. Allen or something, or Jack Allen or something. And like, dude, why are you discriminating against Christians? Like this inclusion model is really just an exclusion model. I work with anybody. I work with liberals. I work with conservatives. I work with freaking people of weird. Politics. It doesn't affect the work, I don't. Someone starts talking to clamor about politics. I don't argue back. I'm just like, hey, I do my work, I don't I let them talk. I'm not gonna say anything. The only time I do talk is when I'm discriminated against, which I think O-Steel is discriminating against. I don't think O-Steel likes Christians. I mean, if you look up his profile, it's the classic crew that would be anti-Christian, They're very, very, very liberal, and they don't like Christians. And Mark Zuckerberg said himself, the reason why all these conservative pages censored, Mark Zuckerberg told Congress, it's like, well, we got a lot of liberal people from us, and they don't like conservatives, so they get censored that way, And Austin doesn't like me. I don't know why he doesn't like me, but I know I'm being censored a lot because I'm a Christian. Okay. Anyway, so I didn't know why I didn't get a job. All I know is I didn't get a job, but that wouldn't stop me. I kept coding, kept making games, right? Make a couple games. And we found a crew called Tangerine Pop. Okay, bunch of Christians, cool stuff. And we made a game. They actually convinced me to make a game instead of going pro in StarCraft 2, which I could have done easily. I spent a month and I was number 1 in the world 2v2 in StarCraft 2. I still have pro game. I can still pro game. I'll pro game anybody. Just give me a game to go at and I'll do it. But like I said, League of Legends is rigged. I do League of Legends right now. I did 9,700 games of League of Legends. And only the final 7,000 of them that were rigged. So there's no way. You take Wayne Gretzky versus His whole team trying to play against him as well as the other team. It's like 5 people on his team, 6 people on the other team. He's Wayne Gretzky versus 11 people. Wayne Gretzky won't get out of his net. He'll just get pummeled. You know, he tries to get around and they would just circle. You know, there's no one to pass to or anything. Wayne Gretzky could not beat like freaking 13-year-olds. You know, he would lose the 13-year-olds, maybe 11-year-olds even. Like, you know, you start getting low enough down there though, he'll skate circles around. Like, you watch Pee Wee hockey, you know. But I'm saying like an actual pro team though, Wayne Gretzky would never win a game in his life. Like, oh, and that's what League of Legends is. It's a very rigged game. It's very rigged. And all you know, China has its own problem versus Christians. If you look at the CCP, they execute Christians. It's in all the news. They harvest your organs and sell them on the black market, and they tear down the churches. I'm not going to look at that on the news. That'd be disgusting. I don't want to look at the ugly. I don't want to focus on the ugly. I just want to explain what's going on. So anyway, they get hired out of college. It's the Carnegie Mellon, #1 computer science college in the world. Why don't I get hired? #1 computer science in the world. You know, I should got a junior position. I should got an internship. I wasn't shooting for the stars. I was just humble. I was like, hey, I did a bunch of coding. I did this. Why don't you get an intro position? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nowhere. Nothing. I was accepting anything. I didn't get nothing. I got literally zero chance. Zero chance to work. None whatsoever, and it's still that way today. No one wants to hire me. Like literally, where am I going to work? You know, I'm a programmer, and all the places that have good jobs programming are big tech with a big liberal culture. They don't want me. Like, just look what Austin did to me, man. So anyway, I made my own. I had to click clack. You know, you don't want to hire me? Fine, I'll make my own business. You know, we make this game called Dungeon Run. We have a manager goes to Shockwave and goes, hey, we'll negotiate a plan. He gets us $50,000, 4-man team. Yeah, 4-man team. It was 5-man team now. It's 4-man team. He gets us $50,000, but that's not really much at all. You know, for a whole year's worth of work, that's like $12,000. That's nothing. You know, that's barely minimum wage. You know, so I mean, but he had 25 cents per play. Like, that's cool. And then like we can look back a little bit later, and we haven't been getting any royalties, but there's about 2.7 million plays on it. They have a little play counter. 2.7 million plays times 25 cents. That's over $500,000. Close to the $700,000. And we're like, hey, why don't you pay up? And they're like, no. There's a thing called Defy Media. They bought MTV Shockwave and didn't pay anybody. Here, we'll go to the Wikipedia. This is my whole life history. I'm just explaining how much I get screwed over, and no one ever gets me a chance. And not like literally no one. Not just the people don't give me a chance, but like people actively fight versus me. They just pick fights with me. So where are we at? Sue. Lawsuit. Yeah, sorry. Topics. Here we go. In March 2018, Defy Media laid off 8 and replaced the comic part. Multiple publishers did not pay for advertising. Multiple. We were one of them. They owed us. By the time they got rid of the counter, but like we projected out what it was. We think we had 4 million plays. We think they owed us $1 million. $1 million, right? Which is pretty good for a guy like me who still has student loans in his 40s and only had 2 cents in his bank account last. Well, I had 2 bank accounts, 1 penny in each, and ran off food and water and had no car. So I literally had to have someone pick me up. You know, but it would be nice to have been paid for my work. It's hard work. This coding games. This game itself, I personally coded 100,000 lines of code by hand. A little bit of copy paste here and there, not too much. Probably looking at about 40,000 lines of code, 50,000 lines of code that was not copy pasted. I'm the conservative estimate. Probably around 65,000. You know, 65,000 lines of code. It was not easy, and then they just stole from me. These people just stole from me. Father in heaven, you know what's going on. They don't give me a chance, God. Lord God in heaven, man. Never got a chance at work, and I get ripped off by these guys. And then we took the same game, we revamped it, added a town to it, give it to Apple. Apple let us post it, did not let us update it. Google has Google has multiple policy disorder. It means they'll just take the game down randomly until you fill out like you would not intend to set a fire in like India with it or something. It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like these weird policies rolling around the world, but they keep taking your game down. They like make you fill out forms and you can't update it because you don't have the right tech. It's like Google is a pain, Apple's a pain, and then Congregate comes along and they said, hey, by the way, the team that Apple ripped off and Defy Media ripped off, it disintegrated. I still talk to a couple guys now and then. So I made my own team. I picked up a bunch of people on Reddit. I got some people here from Twitter. I got some people, and they were making art for me. I made Throne and Crown. Here, show you some Throne and Crown. The other game we made, Dungeon Run, doesn't actually have any. Isn't online that much anymore because of thing. So I'll just edit this. I guess I'll hit play there. Maybe. See, it's kind of cool. You'd have to do like a Metal Gear Solid to get past these crabs, and it's just like a Zelda. But it's really fun. The sounds good. Throne Crown's a little bit. It's kind of neat. It's like a little NES game. It's a good little good game. But Congregate. So we already got ripped off by Defy for like $1 million, which is MTV Shockwave. Defy ripped us off for $1 million, 100%. Apple didn't let us update. Google wouldn't let us update. I moved on to like Congregate, and Congregate's like, hey, we'll let you use our new microtransaction. I'm like, wow, well, then we can actually make money on Congregate. So I spent a month on their stupid API because it was a terrible API. Finally get it working. We've spent a long time on this Throne and Crown, a couple thousand hours, Get done, go publish it. Oh, we won't let you use microtransactions now. After they personally said they could use microtransactions. When I go to publish, they say can't. They wasted like a month of my time. I could have been looking for another thing. I'm like, whatever, we'll just publish it. And then that was disintegrated that team. Okay, good. So I got ripped off by MTV, Shockwave, Defy, Apple, Google, Congregate, and obviously. Twitch, Amazon banned me because I said they're executing Christians in Hong Kong. And they're like, don't say that. That's hateful. I'm like, no, I'm just talking about human rights abuses. But there's a lot of places that just ban you because you talk about human rights abuses because they want to make money in Hong Kong. It's like so like I got banned off of Twitch, Amazon when I was at the height of popularity. People were like, Jim, you're like the most entertaining streamer on the thing. You're actually more entertaining than television and movies. Like, you're just like super entertaining. I had a kung fu bag, I'd kick and stuff in between games, and we'd tell jokes left and right. It was actually funnier than television. It was funnier than like some old Saturday Night Live when you had the top crews, man. People like hanging out with me because I'm fun to hang out with. It might seem like I'm a wild guy. It's nothing to be afraid of. I just if I fight, it's for defense. I don't fight people. I don't beat up people. I'm not a bully. It just, I'm not to be nothing to be afraid of. I'm just follower of Jesus, man. Thinking love's the way, and we have some good jokes. We have some good times, and make some good games, man. That's how it goes. But I've been ripped off. Couldn't get a job. Then I got ripped off by big tech. Doesn't Apple have enough money? MTV ripping people off. I told my boss we're probably gonna get ripped off by MTV. That's what they do. That's how MTV makes their money. We're a bunch of jerks. They're a very empty lifestyle. MTV. Some people care about the wrong thing. Some people care about money. Some people care about power. Some people care about cocaine and hookers. It's like, no, that's not where love's at. Love's when you like help people. You help everybody out around you. And you hope God helps you as you go along, If you help everybody, so let's just say I was helping everybody, and everybody was helping everybody, then like the world would be a better place because everybody's out for other people. You have a down day, no one's kicking you when you're down. I get kicked when I'm down a lot. I just keep getting right back up, or it doesn't hurt. Like I'm already down, and you kicking me when down doesn't knock me down at all. I'm so used to being like kicked around, But there's where we're at. So anyway, let's reel it back. So like. Non-stop, my entire life coded game. Let's go back through my accolades. Because I like my accolades. There's a lot of jazz up over. This is Blizzard shouting me out. This is BattleNet. Crazy Jim comes the first of 1,500 wins. Top 10. I didn't really get number one. I had number one, no problem. And 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. First of 1,500 wins. And look what I did. I did this random. Death was random. I was playing a random champion, and I was the best in the world, and I was playing random. I was the best in the world at StarCraft, and I was playing all the races. Best in every single race. I was number one in the world at Diablo 2 on 3 different characters because they died. What else you got there? Command and Conquer 3, top 50. I didn't want them to know I was number one in the world because I didn't want to give EI that honor. It's just spamming of medium tanks. It was a badly designed game. You know, it's time for me to probably. I'll tell you what my future is. Besides this MMO I'm publishing, I'm going to do a balance pass for Brood War, balance pass for StarCraft 2. I have to hit the restroom. I'm going to get my Pokemon Go game out, competitor, Quest and Parks. Hold on a second. Okay, now I'm back. Quest and Parks. I have that dungeon run game I was talking about. We added a town to it, and you can combine gems, use random loot drops. It's actually a pretty ballin' game. And it uses like basically like what you expect, like Link to the Past, Zelda graphics. It's actually amazing. We don't. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't show you it right now because Congregate, obviously, not Congregate. Obviously, Shockwave's Flash no longer up, and Apple just took our game down recently. I have a Kapow I can do locally, but I'll show you like somewhat looks like. Say Dungeon Run. See, there's a couple images from it. Oh, can't get the App Store. Oh, here, Dungeon Run. I know. See, let's see if we get any images from the Dungeon Run. See, it doesn't load up. No, you're not going to get any images out of this. I could dig through it on my hard drive if I wanted to. But it was basically Gauntlet 2. It tributes to Gauntlet 2, which is a really good game. So we're going to go with this. I've established that I've programmed my entire life. I have a really good networking algorithm that I think Unity should buy off me. You know, when I first came to Unity, I made a 10 versus 10 Starfighter MOBA, multiplayer online battlefield with the old networking code that Unity provided. It was very expensive, you know. It's too expensive to use because, you had to use a live server and it was like fast ping, and so it was never going to be big. But like, no one wanted to play with me. It had power ups and capital ships. It was just like League of Legends. You had to blow up, had to get drones to like the capital ships. And then when the drones are getting shot by the capital ship, you shoot a little bit, collect scrap, take that scrap back and buy upgrades. You can deny scrap by taking their scrap away from them. If you get blow up with their scrap, you give it back. I did this in 2 weeks, right after the rollerball tutorial. Is that not insane? A multiplayer online battlefield just fresh with Unity. That was what got me to Unity. It's so good. The reason I'm making this Starfighter now is because like I just wish I had a player base, right? I was trying to get a player base. So and then one thing next to another. I'm making MMO. But anyway, I have a networking code that Unity should buy off me. And this O-Steel guy is harassing me, right? I was applying. I'm like literally applying here. I'm applying in here. I'm not applying on a resume job. Like, why would I apply to a resume job? I dropped 1,000 resumes before. I feel like resume jobs are like to placate you. Oh, thanks for your resume, says the bot that like from the email. They don't care. They don't even read those things. That's how I'm trying to get I'm trying to get actual real people to talk to me. And then this guy's just being hateful. We don't need to hear from you. Like, he does hate everybody hates you. Why are you arguing? Because he like. This guy's just like the peanut gallery. Being moderating. And he does hate me because I'm Christian. I just want everybody to know that. He does favor Unities. And so these guys are just going to cover this Vertex guy, this CodeBot, and are covering for me. I don't lie, man. I haven't lied. So let's see this guy. So I'm just messing that guy. I like to get more information because I know I'm being discriminated against. And so you just talk and you have them talk. So he said I lied, right? So trying to get back to where we were at. This is today at 9:18. Oh, here you go. Okay, that's that one. When I found out God is real, I never lied since then. Anyway, so he's trying to get some more information. I don't know who Theo is. Uh, he's just slandering me, right? He's just like, that's like false accusation. He's calling me a liar. I'm not a liar. So it heats you up when they all like dogpile you, you know, mob rule, mob mentality. We all start slandering him. He's a bad guy. He's a liar. Well, if you calls him a liar, if a bunch of people call you a liar, people start believing it just because more people say it. Even if it is a lie, people believe it just because more people say it. So I'm trying to figure out like why they would do. All right, so here we go. We don't need to hear it. Like he just has problems with me. Like why would he not be on this guy's case who's basically just insulting people and and stuff. He has to, like this guy wasn't even helping. I was helping up here. And then he asked, you know, I thought Null was like actually serious about like help the engineers. Yeah, I could help the engineers. It's just it was a miscommunication. I thought Null was actually being serious, you know, I mean, hey, you want to help the engineers? Yeah, I can definitely help them. They have a strength on me, but I can have strength on them too. You know, we do. Then, but the Ostel just jumped in it. You know, like it's hard to get even seen in today. You know, what do you need? I mean, like I call it like hyperbole. Let's say you have like Wayne Gretzky in his prime, and no hockey team wants him. Like there's some discrimination going on. There's some reason they're not hiring Wayne Gretzky. You know, if he's the best person in the world, can't get him like they don't want him in the juniors. You know, they don't want him in like beer leagues. Like when you're not wanted anywhere for any position whatsoever, there's something wrong. You know, you're one of the best in the world. They don't want you to give you. No one gives you a single chance anywhere, and that's just screaming discrimination. I mean, this guy just jumped down my throat. I'm trying to like I'm so used to like you know tossing my resume in the black hole. I'm tired of it. Like he hires me because I'm a Christian. I'm tired of this stuff, man. Like I'm just reporting. That's what I'm doing right now. These guys call me a clown and a liar. You know, I'm not a liar. I got proof of all this stuff, man. So you threaten to mute it. You're gonna get muted if you stop spamming this nonsense. Like maybe if someone else would say something like that. This guy just came at me, man. He does it all the time, man. See, look at it. Now what? Let's watch what they says there. No, this guy's like insulting me. Now they're making fun of me. Oh, you're muted. Lucky Verdict's got you first. Ha ha. We muted you. Ha ha. Because he doesn't like me. And this guy's calling me names. Uh, and then this guy's calling me names. Uh, and this guy called me a liar. So he's trying to slander me. What happens is we got brand awareness people we talked about earlier have to all unitedly slander someone. I'm not a bot. This guy's also slandering me. And they thought I was spamming him in DMs. I was just trying to talk to him. He was asking what happened, and I was explaining to the guy what happened. I'm like, oh, he's gonna message for me? Oh, great. And then I started sending messages. So anyway, there you go. We got some standard discrimination going on here. I'm just trying to get a job at Unity, and these guys are like being just a bunch of jerks. Why would I get a job with these guys, man? Like don't like Christians, man. Like there's a couple people at Unity I like. I'm not even gonna name them names, you know. At this point, if you don't like me, you know, and I name names, you might not like them either, you know. So I'll just be the guy that gets the slander on them and stuff, you know. And let's see what happens is always after something like this. Let's see if what. Let's look at the rate at which they're typing. Right before I showed up, before I showed up, before I showed up. Okay, so let's look. Let's look at the posts per minute before I showed up. Okay, the post per minute should before I showed up should be about the same as after I go, unless you're trying to scroll me off the page, right? Just a second. So, you know what? There's good posts per minute anyway. That's definitely cool. I'm just doing some final analyzing here. I mean, there are a lot of posts per minute, actually. There's like, it's just about 3 times as much. There we go. Alright. Alright, I'm out of here. Learned a lot about my life history. That I am pretty decent at what I do. Check out, let's see here, Crystal Fighter. See if there's anything else. I can show you a couple more of my games I made. These are made by hand, right? So Starfighter General is my MMO coming out. There's Throne of Crown we had earlier. This is Diamond Drop. It's a unique puzzle game. Before I knew you could just steal Bejeweled, well, like they did for Candy Crush, I was trying to make a unique puzzle game. It's called Triangle Mania. It's actually pretty unique. It's mind-bending, but it's in a good way. You start to get like a lot of strategy to play it. I could probably have made levels and stuff, but I never really wanted to get with it. I had too many things going on when I finally brought this up to playable. This is Battlemon. It plays a lot like Hearthstone. Meets Pokemon Go. There's quests in actual real-life parks. You know, go up to the gazebo, and it'll give you clues to where to fight wandering monsters. You find enough wandering monsters, unlock a boss, or just follow a trail. You know, anything you can do with geocaching. You can do specific park-to-park quests, like you're basically overlaying Final Fantasy quests on top of a park. You know, kind of cool. I only let people I know make quests because obviously I don't want people to get mugged. This is actually a really good thing. This is based on Polar Radiance combat system. It is Intergalactic Bounty Hunters RPG. Basically, I play a live game master, and I put other people into the game and tell them what's going on. It's been really successful. My friends love this game. It had like a little bit of a bug as I tried to update it, and I never finished updating it because I'm trying to get Starfighter General out the door. Okay, this is a picture of Throne and Crown. I mean, not Throne and Crown. Dungeon Run. This is the one that got 4 million plays. It's actually pretty good. It's a really good game. And we added more stuff to it, like a town, like a Diablo 2 town. You know, you can buy gems, you can mine, or you can use the people in the town to do some stuff over time. You go in the dungeon, come back, they finish their stuff, you know. And then they're, you know, number one in the world, and you know, I love God, man. So I'm just trying to find, you know, position, man. Just like anybody else in the world, you know. But it's just funny, like literally no one else in the world tries this hard. No one else in the world succeeds this well and never gets a chance. Literally never got a chance. Not a chance. And I believe I have a lawsuit coming up against LinkedIn for discrimination. Lawsuit, probably going to follow that lawsuit with lawsuit against Amazon and or a couple places. Yeah, I'm declaring I'm going to sue a couple people. I mean, like, it was really easy not to get sued. Don't be, like, hateful and shut me down all the time I talk. Like, they'll be like, hello, I'd like to apply to your job. Ban that, man. It's like, what? I feel I feel the discrimination. Like, the way, the tone of voice that people use in the chat, like stop, before, this is your warning, you stop talking. It's like, dude, I was just trying to get a job, you know. Like, what I posted that I want free, like Random Particular. Look at this. I made this with we'll go back to random particular. I had to get this for free because like wouldn't do it. They wouldn't let me put it on the asset store. But let's play again. I'll do it on fast forward. I'll turn the mute on. I think that's the problem. I wanted to didn't want the these flag because some of I listen to some music. I'll have to go on YouTube.
So it is
This is my asset store trailer. So I think I tried to clean it for like copyrighted material. Play with 2 runs. So what happens is it generates, and then you go around and pick up the thing. Let's see. Am I on the right? Yeah, we're desktop. So you drive around and you just grab and you put it over your asset thing, and you get to keep it. This crazy. This thing is crazy assets you get out of this. I'm gonna get some water while I watch this. This is fun to me. When I run this, this is enjoyable. Every time you run it, you feel like you won at Windows Solitaire. And the slowdown is during the generation. This tool revolutionizes the entire particle effect industry. You just go and drag and drop it. Now it's yours. You don't have to have any skill in Unity whatsoever. A 5-year-old could do this. A grandma could do it. I had this 20-year-old guy over my house. He never used Unity in his entire life. Like, well, what is this Unity thing? Oh, it's you make games in it. Like, wow, that's cool. He's used computers obviously before. I said, but I said, how about you drag and drop and stuff? He's like, okay. He started making particle effects for me. He spent there for like an hour. It's like, this is really fun. I'd do this all day if I could make money. I'm like, yeah. Some people could make money on this. You know, sell particles on. That's the story, no? But a lot of these are better than lasers. There's a laser particle effect thing. Look at that. This is just crazy particle effects. And you just drag and drop. You just harvest them. You know, it's fun. Like I said, it's like winning at Windows Solitaire all the time while you're productive. You know, you just go around and harvest all the particle effects you could ever want, and it's super fun. Like you don't even have to, like all the particle effects where people are hitting numbers and stuff. You don't have to do that. I don't know, man. As you can see, I have like an exceptional talent at software engineering. By now, people are realizing, dang, Jim, what the heck, man? You're like next level of next level. I'm like, yeah. I'm like people call me Renaissance developer. You know, I do things that other people do not do. Hey, someone out there in Unityville who tolerated listening to Jim for like 9 million minutes, try this on shaders. I don't have time. I'm putting the networking code in my game in Starfire General. You get a whole section of random particular. You can look it on my YouTube. This is fun to watch. This looks like a Sega. That's I think what I'm saying. It looks like a Sega loading screen. Not Sega loading. It's a PlayStation loading screen, right? And it's cool. You just go around and look at all the cool particle effects, and then you take them and you put them in your game. They're exactly like you take them because I have it so it saves all that data in the proper method. And that just looks different. So I think I probably grab that one. Yep, just grab it. All right, later. Like I said, this is free to download, right? If you want to have fun like this, you can download it right off of my website. I'm sorry, like I have so many different projects I'm doing. I need to focus on the Starfighter General, but like I just came on the report a bug, and all of a sudden like Austil has to jump on my case. It's that one personal guy, Austil. I don't know why does he have against Christian? You know, I don't get it, man. So again, we get on the rabbit hole. I have to explain my whole life story about how I'm discriminating against. Sucks, but like humanity can't stay together and work together. I can definitely work with liberals. I've worked with liberals before. Wasn't a good job, but I worked with them. Like they'd go blah 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 what I did last night. I don't care what you did last night. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna code like blah 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 whatever. You know, I talk, man. Like I'm not gonna stand away you talking. You know, I'm not gonna be like don't do that, don't do this. I don't cause a scene at a workplace. I'll cause a scene outside the workplace when I know I'm not allowed in the workplace to begin with. I have no skin in the game. Look, I have no skin in the game. I've never had an opportunity once in my life. Not a single. I've never had one single opportunity despite being a lifelong tryhard. I have no skin in the game. People are like, oh, you don't want to say this, you don't want to say that because you'll lose your job. Nah, I never got one. And like, oh, you never got a job because you talk like this. I only talk like this because I never got a job. If I come out of college and they give me a job, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's play by the rules, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'll help you with your company. And like if I started working with someone, like, gee, man, Jim, you do some really good work, and I'd get promoted or whatever, like whatever, or not, like whatever. I'll just happy like you understand. I'd be happy with a minimum wage job. You know what I'm saying? Like doing software engineering like this, like but I don't got that. You know, when I do work, it's always like a temporary gig for software engineering, and it's only for a couple bucks an hour, and then, or like it's not even like coding at all. It's like stuff using computers. Like I don't do this, man. I'm like people call me a Renaissance artist, software engineer for a reason. I said 10,000 hours makes you a master. I have 150,000 hours. You know, I should be at least getting a software engineering job. It's not. It's not. This is a really, really weird world we live in. When people who spend their entire lives dedicating themselves to an art form of coding and design and game design never get a one chance for anything. You know, I don't get a chance to make particle effects. I never got a chance to just grunt code. I've never got a chance to like be an assistant game designer. I never had a chance to be UI like reviewer. I've never been I just never get a chance for anything. And I have applied to business jobs. I wasn't just applying to code video game jobs. You know, applying to video game jobs like applying for like an acting career. You know, you might be just as good as someone else, but someone else get it just because like everybody's applying, right? But I'm like I'm not just one of the best in the world at software engineering. Software engineering is supposed to be in demand, and I can't get my foot in the door anywhere. So when it comes to discrimination, you say what you want to do. I'm gonna kick my patch out tomorrow, and then I'm gonna get all my documents together of all the videos I had on LinkedIn of discrimination. I really don't have hope. I'm not saying despair is creeping in, but I don't have hope I'm gonna win this lawsuit. I just want to raise awareness that Christians are being discriminated, and I might ruin the end of the video, but I'm gonna go to like a place that I've got discriminated of this thing. I mean I kind of rant on this thing right now. Like I'm trying to click on a thing, but like instead of going to a place I discriminate, let's go to Father Spirit's Son. Father Spirit's Son is better than that. Like I keep it classy, Let's keep it classy. Censor. There's no such thing as censorship because censro. Learn to spell, Jim. Censorship. We're just gonna go through some censorship. Twitter censorship caused race riots. Oh yeah, I was May 27th on Twitter. May 27th Twitter. There's people calling for death in the streets. You're using words they don't normally use, and I said, hey, I think you're probably gonna cause a race riot if you keep saying nasty things like that. It's like real lives are gonna be lost because people talk on Twitter, right? And I really wouldn't really like the race riots always happen the 28th or afterwards, the really big ones. And I wouldn't claim that like my words were not heated or something, but my words were literally censored off of there. Twitter censored my words, saying, "Hey, let's not call for violence." Twitter taking like let's not call for people to die, And Twitter's like, they censored that, so they want people fighting. So I'm just gonna watch this. This is a good ending. This is a really good ending. So there is liberal discrimination in Christianity.
Senator.
Right, under the First Amendment.
Well, Senator, our goal is certainly not to engage in political speech. I'm not that familiar with the specific legal language of the law that you
Zuckerberg
speak to,
just
so
said he never heard of the First
need to
Amendment.
follow up with you on that.
It's called a law.
I'm just trying to lay out how broadly I think about this.
Well, Mr. Zuckerberg, I will say there are a great many Americans who I think are deeply concerned that Facebook and other tech companies are engaged in a pervasive pattern of bias and political censorship. There have been numerous instances with Facebook. In May of 2016, Gizmodo reported that Facebook had purposely and routinely suppressed conservative stories from trending news, including stories about CPAC, including stories about Mitt Romney, including stories about the Lois Lerner IRS scandal, including stories about Glenn Beck. In addition to that, Facebook has initially shut down the Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day page, has blocked a post of a Fox News reporter, has blocked over 24 Catholic pages, and most recently blocked Trump supporters Diamond and Silk's page with 1.2 million Facebook followers after determining their content and brand were, quote, unsafe to the community. To a great many Americans, that appears to be a pervasive pattern of political bias. Do you agree with that assessment?
Senator, let me say a few things about this. First, I understand where that concern is coming from because Facebook and the tech industry are located in Silicon Valley, which is an extremely left-leaning place. And this is actually a concern that I have and that I try to root out in the company, is making sure that we don't have any bias in the work that we do. And I think it is a fair concern that that people would at least wonder about.
Let me ask this question. Are you aware of any ad or page?
So what happened was the guy just said that you're shutting down the Catholic Church pages, and Zuckerberg's, well, we have liberals working for us.
That has been taken down from Planned Parenthood.
Senator, I'm not, but let me just.
How about MoveOn.org?
Sorry?
How about MoveOn.org?
I'm not specifically aware of those.
How about any Democratic candidate for office?
I'm not specifically aware. I mean, I'm not sure.
In your testimony, you say that you have 15 to 20,000 people working on security and content review. Do you know the political orientation of those 15 to 20,000 people engaged in content review?
No, Senator. We do not generally ask people about their political orientation.
Okay, so he just said you don't ask them about the political orientation. Just earlier, he just said, we're located in Silicon Valley, and we have liberals working for us, right?
Including stories about the tech, Facebook, Fox News, and most page, determining their unsafe. That appears that assessment.
Senator, let me say a few things about this. First, I understand where that concern is coming from because Facebook and the tech industry are located in Silicon Valley, which is an extremely left-leaning place. And this is actually a concern that I have and that I try to root out in the company, is making sure that we don't have any bias.
Of those 15 to 20,000 people engaged in content review?
No, Senator. We do not generally ask people about their political orientation when they're...
All right, so there you go. There's lies and lies. Mark Zuckerberg just lied to Congress right there. And what is that? You know, people lying. It's pretty obvious those guys are lying. The guy said I lie. I don't lie. Once I became a Christian, I've never lied before. In the past 19 years, I didn't tell a lie, man. I'm trying to think. No, can't think of one. Because I want to tell the truth all the time. My God is truth. So, feel like, oh, you'll be pushing the workspace. Like, no, I'm not pushing the workspace. I'm a middle-aged man who never got a chance. And you look at like something called, we're going to say it's called hyperbole. We use the word hyperbole. It's called take an example and out of proportion. Like, I have so many accolades to my name despite not getting a job that people think it's absurd. Okay? And what happens is they say these accolades are not believable because you have so many accolades, someone would have hired you by now. That's not the case. What happens is, despite having all these accolades, number one on the road at StarCraft, number one on the road at Warcraft 3, 200 Warcraft 3, number one Diablo 2, 3 different characters, made all these different games, they've been on my side, assembled teams, you know, made games people loved. You know, besides all that stuff, man, despite being wildly successful in my trade, despite being a master in my trade, being called a Renaissance developer by many people. Here, let's check out my webpage before we go. Starfighter General. I never got a chance, not even for like the smallest thing. No, I can't get into an internship. I can't get into a junior programming position. I'm announcing my MMO coming here. How like I have a bunch of things that like Steam might want, Unity might want. It doesn't matter. MMO is coming in a couple weeks. I said 2 weeks. Who is not a developer that is not optimistic, right? So probably won't let me do back. Down here, I can't say my website is great down at the bottom part, but like, you know, that's just the trailer. Anything you put, basically what happens is you make your normal website, and anything that goes down by the bottom is bonus, you know. So the Galactic News Network is getting images. It has there. So it's like it's a joke about here, I'll give you my joke. This what happens is with this weird slug down here. It has a. I'll tell you the joke real fast because it's, you know, I don't want to leave you there without a thing. So like this thing is the Galactic News Network ticker is basically like a Running Man, Judge Dredd type of thing, and it's just like announcing a fake television station, the House of Scary Network. It'd be bad to be a weird slug. It's just funny stuff, you know. Watch a man with everything, style, class, a family, throw it away when he discovers he's a weird slug. He turns to margaritas, you know. He goes drunk, you know, because I'm a weird slug. It sucks. I'm gonna get drunk. Then he starts to search lost secret assault, which is basically saying, you know, he's gonna take himself out. He's a slug, you know. See what else you got for Galactic News Networks? A failed CAPTCHA cost another man his life to the Inquisitor, who claimed he is not a man but a robot. So he failed a CAPTCHA, and the Inquisitor determines if a cyborg has a soul or not, based on if he's a robot or not. You know, can you pass a CAPTCHA? You know. Let's see here. I'm looking for some funny ones. Come visit Planet Snark. Planet Snark welcomes you. It's like a sarcasm planet. We don't really want you here, right? Ignorance is no excuse for law. Transforming pillows without tags. The funny. It's like some of these are just your old jokes, you know. Tonight on the Obvious Channel. Why is it the ignorant ones that are always claiming to see UFOs the most? Experts weigh in that if you can't identify what's in the air or space as UFO, and people who who know less identify less things. You know, if you don't know what you're looking at, you're probably going to see UFOs more often because, you know, you don't know the F-16. What's a UFO? You don't know what it is. You know. I don't know, but anyway, it's basically like a Running Man, Judge Dredd type of Blade Runner thing. And what it's going to do is going to have a little image in the lower corner. So this is the Weird Slug. The Weird Slug would do this. These are AI-generated images. I have lots of AI-generated images. I actually wrote a macro program that harvests them by clicking. It's on my other computer. And look how many I have, dude. There's some really cool ones here. This is a good way to end it, you know. Look at some cool dragon pictures. These are just AI-generated dragon pictures. Let's scroll them up so. Load them up again. That's a weird looking one. It looks like a worm or something. How about this guy? I guess this guy probably look cool. Yeah, that looks cool. Like there's tons of these things. Some chunky, just a giant dolphin. Oh, that's a big fat dolphin, dude. I should put that on. I mean, this should be my mascot. that's a pretty awesome dolphin, actually. There's a lot of chunky dolphins, but like. I mean, this AI stuff's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm getting diverted by like. It looks like a South Park character or something. Alright, anyway, so I generated lots of AI images. Like I wrote a script that actually harvests these things. These are kind of cool. These like patterns. This is from. If you go to Crayon, CRAION.com and enter dimensions of untold realities, you get stuff like this. Cool stuff. Generating them on my other computer right now. Because what happens, what it does is it goes to Crayon, it clicks it, right clicks it, goes to save, and it saves as a name, saves as save. Then it runs a batch file that categorizes them all, puts them on the thing, and that's how I get so many of these. I think there's 17,000 that run. I don't know what that is. It looks cool. So let's look at other cool stuff. That dragon looks like I'm sorry, I'm just looking at dragon pictures. Welcome to Doom's Road. What do you think this is cool? Like, dude, it's like a dragon wearing like a dragon for a head. Dude, it probably took out a dragon and used its head for a trophy. That's a one ball-on dragon. Alright, I like that here. This looks cool. Look at some cool dragon pictures. Oh yeah, right there. That the cosmic dragon looking over that thing with lightning going. These are some cool pictures. This one looks like it'd be like some sort of like it could be like a kind of T-shirt or something. Maybe not. Anyway, this is cool stuff I do. Automate the downloading of AI pictures. I wrote a macro program in 2002. I wrote a script to go into that macro program like last week, and now I'm generating all these things. And that's my life, you know. It's like, so we'll end it. That's a freaking trippy thing. We have to look at this thing. So, if someone's one of the best in the world at what they do, someone's one of the best in the world, and they never got a chance, what's going on, you know? Why is that? I'm calling discrimination. They're censoring Christians. People know they're censoring Christians as liberals. Mark Zuckerberg explaining is censoring Christians. I got censored on multiple platforms for being Christian. They say we don't like your kind here, Christian. So when people jump down my throat for no reason at all, like Steele does, my first thing is probably Christian. That stupid thing is they don't like Jesus. Jesus says they don't like me, they're not gonna like you. So there we go. We're living in a world that doesn't like God, man. God made everything we think. Even the beauty that we see, that we can use an imagination for, all this beauty we see here. You know, God gave us opportunity to appreciate this. It's a bat wing, weird thing. Ah, some cool stuff here. Some of this is like super trippy. If Van Gogh painted a dragon, Starry Dragonite. Anyway, it's like I think I have a chance with a Starfighter General. I don't think any of these lawsuits are gonna go through. I think the people in charge that are gonna like be the jury will just be the people who like side with like, you know. Oh, well, you deserve to be discriminated. You deserve to lose your freedom of speech. You deserve to be silenced. You deserve to not be talking. I'm not saying chat forums is freedom of speech, but like, you know, I just don't like to be jumped down my throat, man. Like, I can tell when people are getting on my case. Looking for one more cool dragon before I got here. That's a cool dragon. Alright, take care, guys. How many pictures I have here? 8,000. It's not bad. Just harvest them non-stop. So what my macro program would do, goes to here. And you type something in here, like I would type this in. I have about 7 tabs up, and then what happens is it generates it, then downloads all 9 of them, and then generates again and goes to another tab. And while it's harvesting the other ones, the processing time of this one is going down, right? So it's nonstop. It ends up happening is it nonstop downloads them. Probably get about 1 every 5 seconds. It's 12. Like I probably get 12 a minute at least. Probably about 20 a minute. I get 20 pictures a minute nonstop, 24/7. Oh, I got 17,000 pictures in 2 days. So that's 800 pictures a day. 20 minutes a day. 30, 60 times 24. That's 1,200. About 10 minutes, you know. Yeah, so we have giraffe riding a skateboard down a water slide. None of these look really good. This problem with like crayon. Oh, this is actually cool. Look at the guy's head though. That's kind of cool. And then like, I mean, you can have fun. What my buddies and I do, we go to crayon sometimes. We're just sitting around bumming, and we just tell each other to put different things in it. And we have a good time, you know. All right, there you go. Check out Starfighter General. I don't think I'm gonna get any traction at all. I like people to be aware there is rampant discrimination against Christians. You know, I mean, you just look at the news. China just destroys churches. We'll just say that. I'm in a book, Space Road Trucking. These mecha pictures are awesome. Alright, let's show the mecha pictures real fast. But these are generated by AI. So cool. So cool. But we'll close. Like, there is hyperbole you can look at that, like one of the greatest people who ever gamed, one of the greatest programmers ever lived. never given a single chance. And I was never looking for anything really big. I'm not like shooting for the stars. I guess I am shooting for the stars on my own personal projects, but like, you know, when it comes to work, I would have I would not done data entry, but I would have wrote data entry programs. You know, I would have, I would have written stupid SQL stuff. I would have definitely have written like the hospital networking. So this right here, I'm taking my old. Remember I was telling you I had like a Tekken in-house thing. This is the skeleton of the Tekken in-house thing. I was trying to translate it to Unity, but Unity uses a different coordinate system a little bit. Instead of quaternions, it was like I think I was using Euler on partial Euler, partial quaternion on Crystal Space 3D, and then I tried to port it over, and it was hilarious. So I'll cut it out when this is done. God bless you guys out there who's watching. Why would you even watch this? I mean, it's entertaining, I guess, in some respects, but in other respects, it's just like, man, I feel for Jim. Why don't I ever get a chance? Why doesn't I ever get a chance? I'm like the Tricks. I'm like the Tricks rabbit or whatever. Spending my life trying to chase the Tricks, and no one ever lets me have a chance to have any. You know? I mean, like, oh my God, the dude wants to do work for a living. You know? Imagine that. Imagine how have the audacity to want to help society, have to want to work. Pfft. Jim, you're asking for too much. That's the world we live in. They won't even let you work now. No, it doesn't matter if you're good at what you do. You have to toe the line so hard. And you look at those people towing the line on there. Like, they called me liar and freaking like they just made up shit about me. They sorry to be cursed, but like they just made up random stuff about me. Oh, how about this guy? You know, it's because they're trying to do like brand awareness. You know, public relations stuff. You know, this guy Wiseman right here. I think I'll send the link to this video. I don't know. This CEO, I think he covers for these guys that do all this like discrimination and like this hate versus Christians. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do, man. I don't think the CEO is gonna help me at all.